Haymaker Coffee Company was established in 2021 to create the best coffee to fuel the underdogs who perseveres, who hustles, and have the give-it-all mentality to achieve their American dream. Haymaker Coffee only roasts top quality, specialty grade coffee beans, resulting in brews that satisfies those who demand every drop from their coffee and day. If you work hard, run hard, fight hard, and play hard, we have your coffee right here. And we're back to Ripe Show podcast on a Monday. I'm your host, Travis Fulton. Thank you for making us part of your day. Hope you had a terrific weekend. It's a Monday. The PGA Tour is finishing up today due to weather out in California. The AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am is over, and congratulations to Justin Rose getting his 11th win on the PGA Tour, his first since the 2019 Farmers, which of course was just 1 week ago that Max Homa won. And with Max Homa winning last week and now Justin Rose this week, I've got to say congratulations to Mark Blackburn as well. One of the best coaches in the game. Mark Blackburn coaches both of these guys. That's back-to-back. He's been on the podcast a couple times. So congratulations to him as well. It's just me on a Monday. We've got an action-packed week coming at you. All things Waste Management Phoenix Open tomorrow on a Tuesday. We'll give you our best bets and picks. I talked about Justin Rose a lot last Tuesday, even the week before, as I was out at the American Express. And I talked about how I felt Justin Rose looked re-energized to me. There was something there that looked like there was, recommitted. It was burning again. You could tell. And he's been playing well since the start of the calendar year. And here he is now in the winner's circle. But I didn't pull the trigger. I'm usually someone that just doesn't play Justin Rose to win. If I do DFS, he's someone that I'll play in there. But I'm just someone that doesn't put win tickets on Justin Rose. But I did talk about him last week, and I hope some of you put some win money on him, because that's exactly what he did here on a Monday morning. And I want to start, of course, here this morning with some thoughts on Justin Rose. Justin is 42 years of age. He's pretty much done it all to this point in his career. He's been a staple on the PGA Tour. He's been a staple on the DP World Tour. This is now 11 wins, as I mentioned. He's got 10 wins on the DP World Tour, used to be called the European Tour. He won the 2013 U.S. Open. He's finished second twice at the Masters, including losing in a playoff to Sergio Garcia when he got his green jacket. He's finished second in the Open Championship, third in the PGA. And people forget he was a FedEx Cup champion as well. I think back in 2018 or 19. Staple on the Ryder Cup. Justin Rose has done it all. 42 years of age, not just traveling this country, but traveling the world, winning everywhere. He's won in Japan. He's won in Australia. He's done it all. He's put the miles on. You can see the gray hair. You can see the wear and tear. I'm sure it's easy at that stage to be tired and to look around and to see the PGA Tour and everybody around you is just getting younger. To see Tom Kim, who's not even old enough to drink yet, playing next to you. To see Will Zalatoris and his ability to strike his irons. To see players like Taylor Montgomery, who just kind of lean back, bow the wrists, and unwind and carry it 325 yards. No problem at all. Everybody's kind of hitting it past you for the most part. Their nerves aren't as frayed. They don't have the gray hair. It's easy to just say, you know what, I've put my time in. And another group comes along called the LIV Investment Group, and they start a tour. And they're throwing a lot of money around. And I would think Justin Rose was offered some money. In fact, I said last year, I thought Justin Rose would go. If I had to pick three people in the international flavor, the English flavor, United Kingdom, I think Justin Rose was certainly in the top three for me. I thought he would take the money and go, but he didn't. His buddies did. A lot of his people around him, fellow Englishman Graham McDowell, who won his U.S. Open, keep in mind, at Pebble Beach. Graham's 43 years of age. His buddy Henrik Stenson, 46 years of age. He went. Sergio, as I mentioned, he went. Ian Poulter, he went. A lot of his buddies went. They took the money and they went to LIV. Now, whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's for another day. But the fact of the matter is a lot of people around him, his friends, people that he's traveled the world with, played the PGA Tour, played the DP World Tour, played on the Ryder Cup with, all of these things, blood, sweat, and tears, they went. They took the money. And they became a competitor to the PGA Tour. Justin Rose didn't go. That surprised me. And here he is now, 4 years removed from his last win on the PGA Tour, back in the winner's circle. That's a cool story. That's a cool story. And a big tip of the cap to Justin Rose on his 11th win, because he showed his savvy. He showed his experience late on a Sunday and here on a Monday morning. He came out and he looked in control. I'm sure some nerves early on, but he hit a lot of good shots, and that putter was working. He was making putts. He looked like the experienced veteran down the stretch that's been here, done that, and put another one away. Justin started working with Mark Blackburn on his swing, and I was walking the range at the American Express in Palm Springs, as I do for The Cut, which airs on Tuesdays, and we do all these kind of cool breakdowns with players, and I get to kind of catch up with a lot of coaches, some of the players I know. And I've met Justin Rose before in the past couple different times. I had dinner with him at Arnold Palmer's tournament, API. He's a MasterCard ambassador, has been. And I sat right next to him, and the guy was, I don't think he could have been any nicer to me. Very polite, engaging, good conversation. He was just fantastic. He used to work with Sean Foley, and I've kind of interacted with them and some of the things that they've worked on. And Sean, did a great job with Justin for many years. They were off and on over the last, I would say probably year or two. And now here he is with Mark Blackburn, and I'm walking down the range and I see Mark working with him, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. And I just kind of stood back and watched, and I've exchanged some texts with Mark to confirm. But as I just stood back and watched it, it kind of hit me in just watching Justin Rose that he looked re-energized to me. There's something there that looked like he was re-energized, like a recommitment, a new chapter perhaps. And I mentioned that a couple weeks on the pod. I mentioned again last week on the pod. Now, I didn't bet him to win, but you could just sense that Justin Rose kind of recommitted himself. New set of eyes. He doesn't have an equipment deal, so he's kind of a free agent, can kind of do whatever he wants from an equipment standpoint. And off he goes here for this perhaps last hurrah of his career on the PGA Tour. Mid-40s, late 40s, a tough place to be when the game has went into the distance era and you have all of these young players around you. A tough place to be, but he went down that path. He didn't take the money of the LIV. He's re-energized. He's recommitted, and here he is back in the winner's circle. I think it's just a wonderful story, and I couldn't be happier for him. The other thing that kind of hit me this week in watching the AT&T, and of course it was tough because on the weekend the weather coming in and the winds and then the delays and those types of things. But it just hit me that the AT&T, which is not my favorite tournament, and it's not a lot of people's favorite tournament that might be my age or younger. I am 45 years of age. It's weird to think that I'm 3 years older than Justin Rose, but I am. 45 years of age, people my age, people younger, might be a little burnt out on this because they want to see the game progress a little bit more, grow a little bit more, be more appealing to the next generation, which golf has certainly taken on those strides. There's no question about it. What you see behind me, this is the first here at Pebble Beach, my About Golf simulator. This is just one piece of technology that I think has become very much more appealing to the next generation. When you look at the TGL, Tiger and Rory's deal, that's going to be coming about next year. And what that's all about, a simulator is going to be part of that. And the way that that's going to display on TV, the way the players are going to interact. I saw Max Homa just committed. I saw Billy Horschel just committed. And these are going to be really cool productions around the game of golf in a different way through simulation. So I think it's going to be very cool when you see that product lay out. But that product is so different than what we're watching this week. And as I sit back and I think and I reflect on my attitude towards the AT&T Pebble Beach, I found it kind of being put into check. Jeff Feinberg, who was on last week, I thought he brought up a lot of great points about, golf over a long period of time, and there's 46 tournaments for crying out loud. You can have some of these types of tournaments that might appeal to one demographic versus the other. The more core audience that's going to watch it on TV, my parents, other grandparents, people my age, they're going to watch it. They've been watching this tournament. They've been seeing the Pro-Am and the celebrities for many, many years. And that's what they like. They like those views of the ocean, the wind, the seventh hole. Beautiful. It's therapeutic. And then next week, it's for a whole different audience. It's not so much perhaps for this audience that we see this week, but it's now for individuals younger than me. Of course, that's, geared towards all of these beautiful pictures. And yes, a great golf course next week is now geared towards more of a social atmosphere, right? They don't care about those pictures. They don't care about that number 7 at Pebble Beach is the most beautiful hole in the world. Many of these people that attend Waste Management next week will never have the money to go play Pebble Beach. So they're not really interested in that so much. What they're interested in is the social atmosphere that is the Waste Management Phoenix Open. This is a social atmosphere with a golf tournament that's being played around it. And I think it's great that the PGA Tour has leaned into this and they have made it one of its elevated events. It's going to be a star-studded field. I think I saw a stat from Kyle Porter of the top 24 players that are eligible to play. 23 of them will be there. It will be the best field the Waste Management Phoenix Open has ever seen. So if we have a Monday finish, it won't be a Monday morning finish like it is today with a cup of coffee, reading the newspaper with your slippers on. Next Monday will be very different. It'll be hungover, getting your news on Twitter with Taco Bell wrappers. Different audience, different tournament. And I think it's great that the tour has both. Yes, I don't like the AT&T as much. I lean into the Waste Management more. I think that's where golf needs to go more. Now, this is a little over the top. I get it, but I think we need more of this social aspect. But the fact of the matter is, both can exist. So I put myself in check. I put my attitude in check. And I say, you know what? The AT&T has a place too. Jason Bateman, Bill Murray, Aaron Rodgers, a 10 handicap. Give me a break. I'm not going to get into that. Aaron Rodgers. I've seen Aaron Rodgers play. He's not a 10 handicap. He wins with Ben Silverman, Canadian. They win that side of the tournament. But it can exist, right? The AT&T can exist. It's going to be here for a while. It's a great tournament for the PGA Tour to invite their corporate sponsors so they can all play. It can exist as well as next week, the Waste Management Phoenix Open can exist. And I can't wait for it. It's going to be big time energy. Big time energy. I think it's a staple of where golf continues to go. And I hope that there's another tournament, whether it's in the Midwest or on the East Coast, that kind of leans in this way and makes it its own as well and leads a little bit more, perhaps, with the social atmosphere as well. It's a game for everyone. And even though you don't like maybe this side of the game or you're someone who doesn't really care for waste management, Phoenix Open, it's there for a reason. It's there for that particular customer. All right, enough on a Monday. Few thoughts there. Again, congratulations, Justin Rose, Mark Blackburn. Job well done. We're back tomorrow. I've got a lot of thoughts on this field. This is a fantastic field out in Phoenix. We got Hunter Mayhem coming on Wednesday with Froggy. Hunter's been saying a lot of things. I'm really interested to catch up with Hunter Mayhem on Wednesday. And then we've got an interview with Davis Thompson, who's one of my favorite young rookies. Speaking of hitting it a long way and straight in the air, Davis Thompson is one of those guys. Georgia Bulldog, he got a sponsor invite into the Phoenix Open. He'll be on site, so we'll be catching up with him, what he learned going head-to-head with John Rahm, finishing second out in Palm Springs. So very excited about this week. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow with some winning tickets out in Phoenix. PXG has done it again with the launch of a new lineup of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and irons. The new Gen 5 golf clubs deliver significantly increased MOI, faster ball speeds, longer distances, and tighter dispersions, all coupled with the exceptional feel and sound golfers have come to expect from PXG. Schedule your custom fitting or buy online at pxg.com.